All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Choking Hazard podcast. We have one of our competitors from the Ace JiuJitsu Pro Championship from the Grand Prix. This is going to be an 8-man bracket. We're super excited to have you, Cesar, on with us today. Cesar, this is going to be a huge event. This is the first time we're going to have a Grand Prix of 8 competitors, 2 separate divisions. You are in division number 2. I don't know if you happen to see the draw and how that it was that we posted the other day. But thanks for joining us. None of your other competitors wanted to join us today.
They're all scared of you right now.
Scared.
They're all ducking.
They're all ducking this interview. They don't even want to jump on a combo. So how excited are you for obviously next week? Because this is coming down the pipeline. How things going with your training?
My training is very consistent. I teach every day practically, and I train every day. So for me, like, my training is consistent 6 days a week. So I'm always in a training camp, basically, right? So I've been I'm pretty ready for this, and I'm really excited. I'm really honored that like they thought of me to put me in this. Like, the guys in this tournament are killers, so it's really a great compliment to be among these guys.
You're probably one of the more active like black belt competitors I've probably seen. Like, I see you either you're trying to compete at every tournament, or like you're trying to get super fights, or is that just something that you're just consistently looking for to get better, or
I'm just always looking to test myself. Like, my ultimate goal is to win Nogi Worlds at one day, right? So I feel that just to get as much competition out, I can like get myself ready for that. Especially like I get a lot of anxiety before competitions. So like my main goal to compete so much is to get those pre jitters out, right? So that way they're not so constantly there.
Gotcha. So you had the great opportunity being on the first Ace JiuJitsu Pro card, right? So obviously, like, you've kind of gone through the rodeo of like being on that card before, being able to jump out there and be through that type of crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of like, are you kind of changing the way you're approaching this match? Obviously, because now you're going into Copa. It's not just a one-time match. You got like multiple matches that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah. So basically, like, just upping my endurance a little bit. I'm guaranteed 3 matches, right? So I want to make sure that I'm not gonna gas out. Like, I don't want to lose a match because I didn't have enough energy for it. So as opposed to the last one, it was a one-off thing. So I just went out there guns blazing, and it worked out for me. But I think in a tournament style, I have to play it a little bit different.
is there anything strategy wise that you're looking to implement like a division like this, or is just like you're just gonna train, do what you do normally, and then go from there?
I'm gonna do what I do normally. Like, for what everybody knows, I'm mainly a nogi guy, right? But I'm pretty proficient in the gi. But my main tool is my wrestling. I've wrestled since I was a teenager. So like that's gonna be my main emphasis, is to dictate where the match goes.
So obviously, like, you've been able to see the bracket, you know who's going to be in your division.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get those 3 matches guaranteed. When you kind of look at your bracket, who do you think might be your toughest competition, especially in that division?
It's a pretty even each guy presents a different challenge. I don't know much about Carl. I don't think I've ever seen him compete. But from what I heard, he's really good. I was actually supposed to have a match against Scott Jutras a few months back, but the match fell apart. So pretty excited to make that one happen. And who's the other one in my Fawaz? I don't know much about him either, but he seems like a strong boy. A couple of my 10th Planet teammates have trained with him. So it looks like a pretty even a pretty even like bracket. In the other bracket, like we're gonna keep. There's a couple of matches there that I would love to end up with at the end if I get there. I lost a match to Matt McDonald a couple of years ago. I would really love to get that a chance to get that one back. And Nathan Dos Santos is probably like regarded as the top guy, so I would really love to test myself against him.
What are your thoughts on what Fernando and Jeff say? We talked about this a little bit offline, but like with like Ace JiuJitsu Pro and having more professional events, like is this something you think like the Ontario scene needs more of to like take jiu-jitsu to the next level, especially in like when it comes to like the brown and black belt rankings?
I absolutely. It just because it gives us the guys who are mostly teaching motivation to train, to learn a little bit more. Like it gives us that like want to like prove ourselves, right? I don't think that the Ontario scene will ever be able to catch up to other places if we don't have shows like this. So I'm really excited for the prospect of these shows.
Yeah, when especially like I know how these shows have been, obviously we're trying to generate more buzz around them. Obviously, last time we had again a really good showing, but again, like it was the first show. But now like there's a lot more steam going towards this one, especially because it's wintertime too, cold. People got
Yeah,
nothing more to do, so they can go inside and enjoy. And they're not up at the cottage, so you're gonna get a lot more eyeballs on you. So
yeah.
when you kind of think about that, and obviously as you were kind of talking about like, dealing with that anxiety aspect to it, like how does that kind of like change the way you might prepare yourself before the match, or are you just kind of gonna go with the same flow that you've always been going with?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the same flow that I'm going with. I have a really great team behind me. So like they've really helped me. Like I've been training with Michael Brakefield for the last almost 2 years now,
Mhm.
and he's really brought my game up. Like I can't even say how much. Like he's really improved my game, and not just jujitsu wise, but mentally, he's really helped me a lot with preparing and my self confidence and everything like that. So um, I'm not too worried about that at this point.
So I think the biggest thing too, when we look at everybody, you want to get into the finals
Yep.
100%. And the only way you do that is you accumulate the most points.
Hmm.
So like I'm sure you know the rules, obviously, like a ref's decision, that's a 1 point draw.
Yep.
Points, 2 point because it's a win. But then you get that sub, it's 3 points, right? So
Yep.
the more
Yep.
subs, the more points you rack up, the better. When you
Right.
kind of go into this whole game plan, like what are you shooting for? Obviously, don't give away your game plan, but like what are you looking for? Are you looking for the finishes? Are you looking for getting by?
Yeah, I'm always gonna be looking for the finish, right? There's a couple of positions where I like to get myself into where I know if I do that, it's a sure finish. But I'm also not gonna put myself at risk to lose by crappy points or a crappy decision. So I'm gonna make sure that I play my game, which is very dominant usually, and from there I'll search for the finish.
I think especially with the Grand Prix, I think there's a right balance between, there's like this, hunting for the submission, but also you have to be careful with your positioning as well. It's a good balance between like a submission only rule set and maybe like a traditional like IBJJF rule set, which it
Yeah,
primarily uses, but then with the Grand Prix, it's weighing the submission a lot more, which I think is ultimately like if you want to show somebody like a jiu-jitsu show or a jiu-jitsu card, you're not looking at two people's scissor banging and 50-50. You want to see action, you want to see finishes, Aaron. This is what it's about.
That's it. It's about
yeah.
finishes.
So Cesar, I want to give you the stage right now. I want you to hype yourself. I want you to hype yourself, hype your promo code, talk a little trash if you want. What are the people expecting to see when next Sunday when this goes down on November 27th.
Right. So my promo code is 07017. Again, I'm representing 10th Planet Etobicoke and Silverback Training Center. And like my nickname says, I'm just going to Hulk smash.
Nice. I love it. Cesar, like, I'm looking forward to seeing you compete. We've seen you compete already on the grand stage. Obviously, your YouTube's all over the place. We got you on a bunch of different channels as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you fight. It's going to be amazing. One last thing before we go. When you look at like the way that these shows are being run, where do you think the sky is for this? Where do you think these shows are going to go?
I think these shows have the potential to be like, like a fight to win or something like that in the States. If we can have that type of stage here in Canada, then guys like us don't have to be looking to go to the States, and we can just stay in the comfort of our own home and get a stage for ourselves here.
Awesome. Love it. Well, Cesar, we do appreciate you jumping on the podcast really quickly
Thank you
today.
guys for having me.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you get on that mat come Sunday. It's going to be great. Everybody who's listening at home, November 27th, you can get it on pay-per-view. We can use Cesar's promo code. You can help him out, help support the actual event, help support him. It also help support his school as well. So please make sure you guys use that code. And guys, we'll see you soon. Coming up. It's a week out. All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the mat.
Thank you, Cesar.